Now let's start off with cutting the pipe. Now if you were to have one of these, all you gotta do is slip this in. Now once it sits well, you're just gonna have it snug, not tight, just snug. Now usually spin this backwards by hand so it scores the pipe. Once you see a consistent score, you could twist this just a little bit and you're gonna see this getting deeper and deeper. And you turn it a little bit more. I'm not even turning, maybe just a little bit. See the groove that it made? Now after you cut this pipe, there's a lot of sharp edges on the side. So what you want to do, if you have one of these, is take one of these, you take this out, you want to clean the inside so it doesn't have any sharp edges, because if water hits that sharp edge it causes a lot of turbulence, so that's why you want to ream it. Now you use this one when there's lack of clearance. It's pretty simple. You just open this up and say you want to cut it right over here. You just put this in, close it up. Now there's some tension to it, but now you could just start twisting this. So if this is in the wall, you just clamp it on and you just start. It has constant pressure going into the pipe, so as long as you keep turning, it's going to start falling. Just like that. Now this works a lot faster. Now this one doesn't have a reamer for you, and that's why I bought one of these. Now this reamer right here, it pivots. And in this Husky brand, there's going to be some replacement ones for you once you wear it out. Back to this piece that I just cut, you can see that sharp corner on the inside. Say I want to cap this, I wouldn't be able to cap it. So what you want to do is you ream it. Now, because the sharp part is right here, you want to go clockwise. You don't have to give too much pressure. You'll start seeing the shavings come out. Now if you look over here, there's a taper. Now you're done reaming the inside. Now you gotta clean the outside because you're gonna apply flux on the outside. Now for that, you could use the emery cloth. You just wrap it around and give it a couple turns. Now you want clean copper before you solder. You don't want to solder in this dirty copper. And if you have corrosion inside like this is an old pipe, you want to get one of these wire brush. Now if you stick it inside, now you have nothing but clean copper inside. Now you could put whatever fitting you want. Now you could solder it like this, or maybe you want to cap this, or maybe you want to add a 45 to it to change the angle. Now say I want to add this fitting onto it. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick cleaning of this. Just so that's clean. Test fit it. It fits. Now next step is to add flux. Wherever the solder is going to be, you want to add flux to there. Put the fitting on. Now you're ready to solder. Now there's a rule, if you're doing a 1/2 inch pipe, you don't want to use more than 1/2 inch of solder. If you're using 3/4 pipe, you don't want to use more than 3/4 of solder, because if you use too much solder, it might plug up the inside. Alright, now we're ready to solder this. Now let's attach the head to the propane tank. So I'm going to start heating from up top all around, and I'm going to have the solder right on the right side. Now I'm going to keep heating this, and then once I start seeing the copper start sweating and dripping down, I'm going to touch this corner with my solder, and if it starts melting, I'm going to wait till it goes all the way around and I'm done right there. Now you see it start bubbling? I pretty much held the solder right here until I see it wrap all the way around. Now's a good time to actually use a dry towel, not a wet one, and wipe off the excess flux. Now this is going to be really hot, so you have to watch out. Now I wiped off the old flux because if you don't wipe off the flux, you're going to get this green corrosion build up over time, and then it's going to start eating through your copper really slowly. Now after you're done, you want it to naturally cool down. You don't want to spray anything on it. You don't want to cool it down too fast, because if you cool it down too fast, the solder could crack. Now I'm going to do a top view so you can see what's going on. So I just did another fresh cut right here. Second thing you want to do is ream this. You want to get rid of the sharp corners inside. It's pretty much like sharpening a pencil, as long as you start seeing that taper inside. Clean the outsides. You want to clean where the fitting is going to cover and a little bit more. So this is not enough right here. You want it to show up like this. So you want to go a little over. You want to wipe off any excess shavings that you have. Now it's time to put on some flux. You want flux on the outside of this. And the inside of your fitting. Then you're going to test fit it. Make sure it bottoms out. Now this is a 3/4 inch pipe, so I'm gonna use no more than 3/4 of solder. I'm gonna have the heat this way while the solder goes on the other way. See it start bubbling? Not ready yet. After you're done, you could wipe it off with a dry towel. Wipe off the rest of the flux. Now for the next demonstration, I'm going to be separating this old joint with this pipe. So say this is an old joint and you want to take it out, it's fairly easy. You just have to heat it up, and then once you see the solder start melting, and that's your window to separate it. Once you separate it and take the heat away, the solder is going to solidify again, so you have to act fast. I start seeing that solder is starting to get liquid form. Now once the solder starts melting, you can separate it really slowly now. Now this is a good way for if you made a mistake and you want to separate it without cutting and shortening it, you can now clean out this copper and try again. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching to the end. I hope you guys learned something from this. The general knowledge is pretty much what I explained. Now if I missed something, please let me know. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to grow this channel. If you guys have any questions, please ask me at the comments below. Thank you very much for watching to the very end, and stay tuned for more videos.